Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys tonight? Good. We are so thankful you are here. This was a hot ticket. Did you all know that? Like, people are like jonesing to get in here. Right, Jen? Because they are going to be floored tonight. And it's always nice when the speaker shows up. So, the first speaker. The second speaker's already here. So, we are thrilled to have you guys. As you noticed, all the other rooms are like booked, our big rooms that we normally have for like all of April. So when we book this out a year in advance, this was what we got. So we are thrilled that you guys got the hot tickets. And welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Danette Goodyear. I'm thrilled to have you guys here. And you are going to be blessed tonight because Jen Weir, as you know, is going to talk about feelings. Ooh. Exciting. So, Platinum leader Jen Weir, right? Her passion is sharing the oils and feelings. Really, that's like her passion. So she's going to get really passionate about that. So you're going to be excited. So unlocking and getting rid of the emotions that do not serve you in your life, in your business, any other relationships you may have there, holding you back that way. So, and the physical implications that go with that, right? Because that's normally how we figure out like we're screwed up here, you know, is psoriasis or something or whatever. Starts popping out. Oh, did I say disease? I just throwing out something. Scratch. Got that, Gary. Okay. So, and then silver leader Shelly Rogers, she is going to be talking. Oh, we're so excited about that too. See that? So she is going to blast your socks off too because she's going to be sharing her business journey, and you are going to find some great things to relate to that and learn whether you've been there or you're going to be there or you have people on your team that are doing that. Going through that, right? So first I'm going to ask you to shut off any ringers or anything that will embarrass you when they go off. And I bought one of these for you guys. I'm just going to, have you guys ever seen these? What are they called? Thanks, guys. I have one. I don't know what it's called. So it like pops out on your phone where you put it, and then you hold your phone like that. Right? And then you can even set it up on the table, and you see that? So, woo! Yeah! You're welcome. I'm going to hand you that one. Thank you. I said pay attention right here. On the cruise, how many of y'all went on the cruise? We had quite a few, yes, good. And so we got to buy Alkalime in a packet. What? Single serving Alkalime. So this is coming out at convention, but I just happened to bring some out. All right. Oh, wait. I have 2 lip balms. Oh, right in the same area. Man, that's a good lefty. Okay. Y'all fired up yet? All right. We got some other great giveaways too tonight. So let us kick off the evening with Jen Weir. So thank you, Jen, for teaching for us tonight.
Okay, number one, this is going to pester me, so I'm going to try to move past it. I'm not used to hearing my voice in my head. The other thing I didn't ask you is, do I just click it? Okay. I was too busy talking because it's kind of what I do best to get my instructions. So, okay. See, oh, hold on. See, I told you. Pesky. Okay. Thank you. Here we are. Good? Okay. All right, guys. I will try my hardest to not talk about God this whole entire time, but that is what I do. That is my sweet spot, and it's because of Him is why I can do any of this. But for those of you guys who wonder, feelings, little touchy-feely, that's not biblical. Boom. Here we go. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed. See, it's in big letters. I did that on purpose. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Guys, tonight, as we dive into the oils, the feelings kit and some emotional oils, I want you guys to keep this in your mind, that God calls us to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. This is not new age. This is not weird. This is old age. This is like millennia old. As you guys probably have said yourselves, essential oils are what, like a 10,000-year-old fad, right? Oh gosh, it's better. Okay, the other thing is, the following information that I'm about to share with you is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The statements in this class have not been evaluated by the FDA. To quote my friend Mary, you can all rest easy. My second thing is I have a book of a script because, number one, I'm a blue-red personality, and if you guys know anything about why are you not here? Right here, ma'am. I'm going to need my blues all up here. I got you, right here. I will squirrel like nobody's business. Also, if I don't use this and keep to my notes, I'm going to start diagnosing and treating like I got no sense. So I'm going to try to stick to the script. All right, these are my people, guys, and this is my story. In order to effectively go through the feelings kit and explain emotional release, I need you guys to hear my story. About 6.5 years ago, my sweet friend April Pointer was passing around oils to a bunch of homeschool moms and saying, hey, your kids are going to be they're going to be feeling well in the fall. I'm like, give me a gallon, because at the time I only had 4 of those people. And you know what fall brings with little ones. So I'm like, bring it, sister. In the fall of that same year, we received a phone call from our dermatologist that said that our oldest son, Mr. Zion, at the age of 9, had malignant melanoma. This is not a childhood cancer, as you guys are well aware. We had to go to an adult cancer specialist because a pediatric melanoma specialist would be broke. It just doesn't happen. We learned that it was the deadliest cancer you can get. It's the cancer of your biggest organ. From there, we radically changed our lives. We cut out sugar. We didn't have any junk. In fact, this is how junk-filled our lives were. The child cried in the middle of the Kroger one night, and I'm like, what is your problem? He says, we don't eat like we used to. Like, you want a ding-dongs or ho-hos or some nonsense like that. I'm like, you could die. That is not my finer moment, guys. This is the build-up to emotional release, right? Like, my kid had cancer, and we homeschool, and I had these 3 other people who I'm like, I hope you're going to be okay while mom's at, oncology offices. They're fine now, I think. We removed chemicals from our home. Our sweet homeschool friends gifted us, no lie, big basket like this of essential oils to help support his immune system through it. Wink, wink. And there we go. Here's the thing. I got to share this with you guys. I think I have, an hour-ish? Okay, I'm going to, stick to the script. We're good? Okay. Shelly's like, can you wrap this up? Look, I got sidetracked. I'm like, never mind. Sure, it's irrelevant. Okay, and then 5 years ago, that was what I was going to say. Let me back up. So the doctors, here's doctors. If y'all have ever been to an oncologist, I feel you. I'm sorry. We can move on. Let's just bless and release. But here's the thing with oncologists. What they said was this. This cancer will be back in at least a year, 18 months. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. Because I sat across from that doctor and said, okay, you're talking interferon, you're talking this nonsense. Let's talk about nutrition. What can I do to support his body? You know what that fool said to me? Now listen, this is a rare cancer pediatric specialist. You guys, he had been to school probably as long as he had been alive. Like, he knows things, right? Here's what that fool says. Oh, fruits and veggies can't hurt. Pardon? So don't ever underestimate the power of a mom who prays and a mom who researched like nobody's business. The Google and I, we became very close, and in 48 hours, we learned a whole lot of stuff that I am not allowed to tell you. That's all I have to say about that. About 5 years ago, during a routine ultrasound with Tiny Mite there, our 5th baby, I learned that there was something wrong with her. We learned that she was going to be born with something called omphalocele. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a big long word that basically means her organs were going to be outside her body. So that was at 13 weeks. The blessing was we learned, okay, she probably won't die while I was pregnant with her. The downside was she'd probably spend about 6 to 8 months in the NICU, I wouldn't be able to breastfeed her, which I'm a total hippie, crunchy mom. That was huge to me. That's what you do, right? If God gave you. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Mixed company. Anyway. And she was going to have a lot of surgeries, and she could die after that. Like, Emphalocele babies, their organs are born out, and then they shove them back in, and their lungs get all smushed, and oh, she's probably going to have RSV, she's probably going to have asthma, and here's me. Sit down. I'm about to pray. It's going to get real. I had ultrasounds every week. Yep, all our organs are born. They're all going to be out. The 2 days before I went to have her, my friends came around. They laid hands on my belly. We prayed. And one of my friends reminded me later. She goes, Jen, do you remember what you prayed? I'm like, no, I was about to have a baby with like crazy stuff coming out. She reminded me that I prayed, God, even now you can do something. Even now, 2 days before. You guys, when Selah Jane, that's her name, by the way, not Tiny Mite. When Selah Jane was born, the doctors were like, oh, it's not that bad. You guys, 2 days before, all of her organs are out. Her intestines, her liver, and everything else. Jim Bob, you can probably tell us what all is in there. But I don't know, but everything. It was only her liver and only a portion of it. You guys, that doctor said she would be there 6 to 9 months. She was out in 31 days. We broke out of that hospital. 31 days. So, and here's the thing. I hear a lot of people, our whole lives were in a fishbowl when we were dealing with Zion, with Selah. I'm a writer, and so I use my writing as therapy. People would say, oh, your faith is amazing. How can you have so much strength? Here's what we're going to talk about tonight. Your faith will be so strong. You will be firm in the crisis because you have zero choice, right? Everybody's, yes, anybody been through a crisis in this room? A couple of you? Okay, good. You guys know it is not hard to have great faith because you have nothing left. Here's where it gets pesky. When the dust clears and you're still left with like, oh my God, I feel a lump. That's WebMD. Yep, dying tomorrow. Right? Nobody else? Anyone? You guys, my kids, we homeschool. We Googled what causes hiccups. Turns out cancer. That, like, no lie. Like, I dare you to do it because you'll see. And so WebMD had my number. Everything was better. Zion was doing great. Selah had her last surgery. She had no belly button. It's really weird. But they put everything back in. She's good. They just said no contact sports. That was the only thing we had to deal with. And here's the thing. One of my friends, I don't think she's here tonight, but said, Weird Texas is a contact sport. Like, fifth kid, it's not good. But everything's fine. Zion's scans became less and less. We became more confident in our chemical-free lifestyle and our nutrition choices. We knew that he was going to stay cancer-free the rest of his life. But the thing is I started freaking out about shoes being on the floor. Have you guys ever had that? Where you're like, hey, if you don't pick up your room, I'm about to kill you. Right? And I started being like, oh my, like just nervous and anxious, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. My brain was becoming a mind mess. My stress levels were at an all-time high. In January of 2015, I was blessed to go with April and Mary and Jolynn, a couple other Young Living leaders to Utah to go to the farm there. And all these seasoned oilers, like they were like living the oily life, and they knew all this really cool stuff. All I knew was cancer. This was like all my life, and my baby. That's all I could think of. And we went to who's been to the farm? Have you all been to the warehouse? Like the Mecca of Ningxia and Valor, right? You're like, thank you, just put it under my number. The oil called Sarah and Trauma Life, like it was going out of style. I'm like, what? Why are you all getting, like I did not know what Trauma Life was. and it was. And Jolynn, I'm glad you're here because I can point to this girl. I said, what are you, what's with Trauma Life? And they were, you don't have Trauma Life? Like knowing my history? You're just going to want to buy some. I think I bought like 10 bottles, you guys, because I thought, oh, okay, they said I should have Trauma Life. They're so much smarter than me. Okay, I'll get this Trauma Life. And then they would say things like this, anger is stored in your liver. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Like it made no sense, but I thought, listen, they've been hippies longer than me. I'm new to this. I'm going to go with what they say because their life seems super great. I'm not seeing. And then I went home, and for an entire month, I applied dutifully on my belly, on my liver. Like, I knew where your liver was on account of my daughter. Hers is here, ours are up here. In case you also had omphalocele, then yours is Lord knows where. So I did that. And here's the weird thing. I had no idea what I was doing. I just did what my friend said, put the Trauma Life. I had no idea what oils were in Trauma Life. I didn't use a carrier oil, gas. I just put it straight on. Totally did it wrong. I just slapped it on like I didn't have any sense, right? But it worked. And here's the thing, guys. Within a couple of months, all my mind mess was starting to feel different. For a long time, I would tell people, oh, we're like the Kennedys. Because our kid had cancer, our daughter was born with the organs out, and I didn't even mention, in between my number 2 and number 3 daughter, we lost a baby at 5 months. We had a stillborn. Our sweet baby Judah went to be with Jesus. And when I look, oh, Lord, okay, whew. Anyway, moving on. But, so those 3 things happened here in Texas. I was thinking, Texas is a horrible place to live. Like, bad things happen here. Nothing bad ever happens in California except earthquakes, right, Mom? Right. Texas, all bad. But I was starting to feel better. I was starting to feel like I wasn't the Kennedys. Like, good things can happen to us. God was going to use something really hard and make it something really beautiful. There was hope. Okay? So stay with me if you're like, she just applied oils. Oh, we're going to get to that. Guys, I didn't do it right, but they worked. Mary, last month, shared with us some really incredible things about how you find truth, how you dive into those emotions. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the why of it and a little bit more on the how. When we use the feelings kit, that's when we're going to go through. Lord knows all 150 of our oils have some emotional component. But what we want to do is we want to use our oils with intention, the way God intended, with purpose, to renew our minds. And so that's what we're going to chit-chat about tonight. I'm not sure what Brilliant Young Living leader said, probably one of you guys in here, but where we have dis-ease in our body, we might find disease. You should think about that. I don't even know if I really was supposed to say that just now. I used the D word. But you get what I'm saying. A Time magazine special show that happiness, hopefulness, optimism, and contentment appear to reduce the risk or the limitations of heart troubles, breathing troubles, stress levels, while depression had the extreme opposite of happiness. So this is Time magazine. So I wonder, could this all be related? We have 30,000 thoughts per day. Women might have 100,000. I'm not sure. But we can only grab 10% of those thoughts. I want you guys to think about this. Thoughts are actually things, tangible things you can touch. Do a little exercise with me. You guys think about if you were to jump out of an airplane right now at 30,000 feet. Raise your hand if you're like, oh, heck to the no. Raise your hand if you're like, yes, let's go now. Yes. No matter what you thought just now, you had a physical reaction, right? For those of you who are like me, like I used to want to skydive till I birthed my first child. I'm like, nope, staying on the ground, never leaving this earth, ever. Before, I was like, yes, let's do it. You get all excited, like butterflies. Now I'm like, oh no, like even the thought of jumping out of an airplane makes me nervous. My son, who's, well, he's not up there. We call him Random Fact Man. And he, the other day, we were driving the car, and I don't know why he likes to stress me. He goes, hey, Mom, did you know there's this thing where you can jump out of an airplane now, and you can chase your parachute down and then put it on in the sky? Have you guys heard of this? And I'm like, oh my God, please stop telling me this story. And I was having this physical reaction to just a thought. When we have a thought, it creates a feeling, just like you guys experience, just like I experienced, again, when I think about jumping out of an airplane to chase my parachute. It creates a hormone release, those thoughts. Even if we just think something, we feel it. When we have a feeling and it creates this hormone release, we have an emotional response. Without the hormone, there's no feeling. Without the feeling, there's no hormone. Understanding our mind and our body and the connection is going to help us release these emotions. We all have feelings, right? But we were taught growing up to be like Elsa. Most of us were taught to conceal. Don't feel it. This is what we do during crisis. This is what makes crisis so manageable. We stuff it, we suck it up, buttercup, and we move on, right? Because nobody's got time to mess around. We got to get down to business. We are in crisis mode. And then the dust settles, and it's like, So when we stuff our feelings, when we suppress our emotions, we start off like this, like, okay, I got this. You know, like your kids come at you and they're starting to fight. You're like, conceal, don't feel. Don't poke them in the eye for yelling about Legos again. And then we end up like this. Our emotions find a way out. I was a hairdresser for 100 years before I started doing Young Living. Don't I look good? Cher LeMay. Saying. And here's the thing. When I would work on people's hair, I could always tell if something was going on inside because of their hair, their skin, and their nails. I would tell people, guys, your stuff, why you're telling me what conditioner, how my nails. I'm like, listen, deal with your brain, and then all of this will get better. Because it has to come out. Have you guys ever you're going through a situation, your hair starts falling out? That's because you got a mind mess going on. Certain emotions are attracted to certain areas in our bodies. As I mentioned earlier, anger and hate are attracted to liver. I swear, like we say this like it's a mantra in the oily world. Anger and hate attracted to liver. There are so many other emotions that are attracted to other parts of the body. When I got that phone call, Mrs. Weir, your son has malignant melanoma. We think it's stage 4. It wasn't PS. It was stage 2B. And the first mistake the doctors made, misdiagnosis. Anyway, I felt it here. I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm going to have to call you back. Oh, and I think I may just throw up. So I felt it here, and I felt it here. And I literally had to take deep breaths. For the next 2 years, funny thing is I kept getting cold, like bad coughs. When I was pregnant with my Selah, I couldn't get rid of a cough. I was convinced I had lung cancer. My poor husband, pray for him, guys. I'm like, this is it. This is how it ends. He's like, Lord. Yeah, right. Yeah, he can go ride his bike. Exactly. It was that grief stuck. I wasn't sick. It was pesky. When our bodies are experiencing an emotion, a negative emotion, if these emotions aren't checked, if they're not dealt with, they will come out, right? Isn't it easier to show your good, your positive emotions? Guys, tonight as we chat, I know that it probably sounds like I'm talking about a lot of negativity, but this is what we deal with. These are the emotions that need release, to be released, so that we can live more on purpose, so that we can live more on intention, the way that God designed us to be, so we can walk in the purpose that He's called us to do. If we can't, because we're stuck in our negativity and in our emotions, then we're not doing what the Bible says, that He's planned good works for us to do in advance. We have to get it out. We know more about our universe than we know about our brains. This is, as my son corrected me, actually VY Canis Majoris, not Canis Majoris, just so you know, just in case I have any science brains out there. This is the largest known star in our universe. We know more about this than our brains. In my mind, I'm like, that's kind of messed up. Here's what we know about this star. 7 quadrillion Earth could fit inside this star. That's 7 with 15 zeros after it. Guys, we know more about that than we know about our own brains sitting on top of our shoulders. So weird. In order to understand emotional release, we have to know and understand our brain and how it works. Our brains are so powerful and capable of much more than we even can imagine, especially releasing trapped emotions. Have you guys heard of Roger Bannister? Yes, you do, right? In 1954, he ran the first 4-minute mile. As a runner, I'm like, whoa, I'm rocking a good 10-minute mile if I'm lucky. People would say, it can't be done. You can't run a 4-minute mile. The human body is not capable of doing that. And yet he did it. Here's the crazy thing, guys. The next year, 8 people ran a 4-minute mile. You know why? Because they believed it could be done. Do y'all hear the Iron Cowboy? I kind of stalk him because I'm fascinated. If you don't know who James Lawrence is, you are missing out, number one. An incredible guy who totally defeated the odds. This man ran 50 Ironmans in 50 days. Oh, also in 50 states. So there's travel time. Any runners or marathoners or triathletes in the room? Okay, so you guys understand, like, when you're done with your race, did you want to get on a plane and go 7 hours? No. Heck no, right? When I was watching him do this race, I would tell my trainer, oh my gosh, there's this guy. And I'm telling him, he goes, yeah, that's cute, sweetie, that he's not doing that. Like, he thought I misunderstood what he was doing. I'm like, no, I'm reading, and he's at 50 states, 50 Ironmans. In case you don't know what an Ironman is, it's a 2.2-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, right? And a marathon, 26.2 miles, all at once, in case you just didn't know. 50 states. Say again?
And he had it completed under the hour time.
And it's 17 hours? Yeah? Yeah.
He had to hit it in the actual time.
Thank you for saying that. It's not like a 24-hour period in Ironman.
He had to make it.
That's right. Oh, I totally forgot even that caveat. So he had to do that. So I got to meet James Lawrence, because I'm a stalker, at convention. I'm like, can I please take your hand? You're amazing. And he's probably like, I'm happily married. I'm like, yeah, me too. My husband would love to meet you. And can we do coffee? No, okay. Too weird? So I saw him. We saw pictures of his messed up feet from all that running. And so I went back to my chair. I'm like, hey, guess who I met this weekend? The Iron Cowboy. He's like, oh, geez, here we go. But here's the thing. My trainer, who is a fitness guy, thought, this cannot be done. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can. I'm not going to do it, but yeah, I can. So the thing is James Lawrence told his mind what to do. And his mind told his body what to do. And his body's like, okay, here we go. Last month, as I mentioned, you were able to talk to or hear Mary speak. If you didn't get to come and you haven't watched her talk, I really encourage you guys to, because this will make a whole lot more sense. She talked about spring cleaning your body from the inside out. She beautifully taught us again the what of emotions, the how to find truth. Tonight we're going to talk about the believe that, and we're going to talk about how the brain works because of that. So you need to find truth. We need to release those lies. And then we have to believe those truths. How many oil business folks are in here tonight? Okay. I'm glad Jim Bob's here because I'm totally going to copy him. I love it when I do that. Like I'm stealing your material. He said the funniest thing. I'm in my car listening to him, and I seriously almost had to pull the car because I'm like wiping the tears. Oh my God, that's funny. He was talking about the lifeblood of the plan. And he's like, I don't want to hear anybody say the lifeblood of the plan unless you know what you're talking about. I feel that way about the limbic system. We all talk about, you smell these oils and it goes right to the limbic system in the brain, past the blood-brain barrier, and then we move on. I'm like, and what? And then what? I hear people talk about the limbic system. Like, you people don't even know what that is, do you? It's because you heard April Pointer talk about the limbic system. You're like, that's good. I'm going to write that down. I was in a class one time, and I talked about the limbic system, and there was a nurse there. She goes, that's wrong. We don't have a limbic system. I'm like, hold on. Google? Well, yes, we do. It's right here. Sit down. So listen. You guys who do classes cannot talk about the limbic system unless you know it. So I'm going to help you, and never again are you going to say the limbic system and move on. You have to tell your people the why. The limbic system becomes very obscure, and it's like this big word you just shared with them, and they don't know. That was nonsense. Let's get to the Ningxia part. The limbic system is what is sometimes referred to as the emotional brain. Ooh, that's probably why we don't talk about it, because that's touchy-feely and we don't talk about emotions unless you're blue, right? Right. It plays a primary role in the range of our emotions, including pain, pleasure, affection, and anger. The olfactory nerve goes from here all the way to the limbic system, which is right in the middle of your brain. We smell the oil, it gets in there. That's the little conduit, right? Like a little train. Oh, that's the slide. Yeah, all emotions are based on love and fear. That was what I was supposed to tell you guys earlier, but, got all mixed up. But if you think about it, all emotions are based in love or fear. Everything boils down to that. Pride, you're afraid someone's going to steal your thunder. You're overjoyed, it's because you are welling up from love. Love comes down from the Father. Fear is not from Him. We all know that. Oh, look at my slides. I am so sorry, guys. Here we go. Now you can see the limbic system, the emotional brain. That would have been better. The olfactory bulb, the nerve, smelling the rose, right there, right in the middle. I'm going to put these down for a second. Everybody do this with your hand. Make a little, like your thumb here. I'm going to teach this. My friend Krista showed this to me. I got to give credit to where credit's due, right? This is our brain. Right here, this is our amygdala, your thumb, right here. You do this, that's your brain. Here's the thing, guys. When we have an emotion rise up in us, our brain will either do this and be open and emotions can flow freely, or we will lock it down and it'll stay stuck. So I want you guys to have that visual in your mind. It's good, right? Yeah, Krista knows. She adopted. She knows her stuff. The thing is that is looking constantly, friend or foe. Am I safe? Am I not safe? Okay? Am I safe? Am I not safe? This is so good, too, to teach your kids. That way they can have a visual to show you they are not feeling safe or they're feeling safe, right? If we smell something, our bodies tense up and we kind of look around, we go like this. Like, can I proceed with caution or do I need to run away? It goes into fight or flight, right? When we smell something that is unpleasant or we sense something, if we get locked down, we do a couple things. We fight or we flight or we just freeze and we just shut down. And that's a dangerous place to be. I mean, Mary Catherine, right? In other words, our response to smell is automatic. Our brains will immediately respond to it. If we just smell an oil when we're nervous, like I was huffing all the way here. I love public speaking, you guys, but it doesn't matter how often I teach something, like, oh my God, okay, highest potential, here we go. Like, I'm like her. If we just smell it, it goes to our nervous system and we can immediately just chill out, totally at peace. Any stress eaters out there? A little bit? You guys ever wonder why that happens? Yeah, I do, because I like to know. Tell me why, and then I can fix it. Just like animals, just like the animals you saw, animals will not eat if there is danger present. Our bodies are so incredible. Our brains are so incredible. They're always looking to protect you. Your brain is for you. It is always trying to help you. So if you are stressed, there's anxiety rising up, and you go into the pantry, your brain is like, hey, let's go get some chips. Let's go get some chocolate. How about those Ho-Hos that you shouldn't have bought the other day? Nobody buys Ho-Hos, right? Is that even a thing? Fritos? Anyway, and you eat, your brain is like, whoo, safety. Okay, we're good, okay. When someone talks to me about weight loss, because my husband lost 70 pounds by eating a plant-based diet in 6 months, they're always like, how did you guys do it? We retrained his brain, number one. And number two, we just ate plants. The thing is if you have always struggled with weight, chances are your brain is protecting you. You should thank it, and then you should deal with it. There's a lot of people who cannot move through things, and so they stay at a weight that they'd rather not be at But if they dealt with this, I know you guys have all heard that, but here's the why. Your brain feels unsafe. Find out why. Why does your brain feel unsafe? How does all of this work? Fragrance is a substance of emotions. Research has shown that inhaling the essential oils, it goes to the olfactory system, just like we showed here, and it activates the regions in the brain that we call, say it with me everybody, the limbic system. The limbic system, and the limbic system is what? Somebody shout it out. Yay! We are going to teach our classes right. Woo! And we're going to say the lifeblood of the plant because we're in the South, right? That's right. Seriously, every time I teach a class now, I'm like, Jim Bob. The essential oils work by calming our nervous system. They help us to relax instead of allowing a buildup of stress in the body. What is commonly labeled as stress, I'm going to wink at you guys, creates a more acidic environment to stress and beyond, right? It can create an acidic environment. What I learned through my son's journey about food is that we want to keep our bodies in an alkaline state. That is all about being above the wellness line, okay? If you have a stressful life, your body is acidic. That's not good. The hormone response of stress activates an enzyme that results in stress being stored in our DNA. Essential oils can help support the body's natural ability to minimize this reaction. Again, our brains are for us. Our brains are trying to help our body not have this. So essential oils can just kind of give it a helping hand. Not kind of all it does. Our sense of smell activates the limbic system. I'm going to say that word a lot so you guys get that. And they carry molecules called sesquiterpenes. When I first started using oils, I'd hear April Pointer say sesquiterpenes a lot. I'm like, oh my word, I don't even know how to spell that word. This is super important though, you guys. Like, don't be like me. Like, for real, do your research. When I learned what a sesquiterpene is, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, sesquiterpenes. Guys, this is so important with emotional release. So here's my compliant way to tell you what they do. It supports healthy oxygen levels in the brain, very much like hemoglobin does in the blood. I did it. There you go. Sesquiterpenes, you guys, if you think about wood floors, they help carve in grooves in the brain to help new positive thought patterns. So think about it. Guys, when we have any thought, same thought over and over, it literally creates a pathway. So if we want to do new pathways, we can do that. How do we do this? Well, I call it brain changing. Cedarwood, brain changer, game changer, right? If y'all don't have cedarwood, like when people get a starter kit with me, I'm like, listen, oh, and add some cedarwood. Hear me now, believe me later, you're going to want this. That's all emotional releasing is. We just need to choose to change our brain. Neuroplasticity is the science that says the brain can actually have the ability to reorganize itself. Our brain does this all by itself. 20 years ago, doctors would say, yeah, that's not possible. Your brain can't change. You're born this way. It's just not going to happen. But what we know now is it totally can happen. We have to decide. As we walk through the feelings kit, we're going to talk about how to do that. But here's what we're going to do. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get to... Yes. Yay. First, you're going to need to state your intention. Just like in yoga, if you guys are yoga practicers, yogis, maybe you run, whatever exercise you do, you have to have an intention before you do anything. Maybe in yoga you're wanting to release stress or tension from your hips or your shoulders. With our emotions and our thought patterns, it's the same exact thing. On January 1st, the gym that I go to is packed with people. Packed! I'm so irritated. I'm like, get off my machine. I'm trying to support you, brother, but you're driving me nuts. On February 1st, those people are nowhere to be found. The reason is because their brains didn't believe them. We say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and make $1 million this year. It's a very lofty goal, super doable, but without a tool, like essential oils, and without an intention, your brain is like, that is so cute. You said that last year. I'll see you on the couch on February 1st. You have to tell your brain you mean business. Your brain remembers that the last time you set a goal, and hear me, business builders, hear me. If you set a goal and you don't make it, your brain is like, ooh, I didn't like that feeling. I'm going to go ahead and not let myself get hurt again. Okay? Hear me, marathon runners or athletes. If you didn't make your time, or you fell, or you got hurt, your brain is going to protect you and say, you know what? Let's not do that. And here's how your brain will do it. In business and in life with your kids, it's going to create excuses. And I'm pretty sure Shelly's going to share that with us later. I don't even know. I'm assuming. Okay? So state your intention. Next, you're going to choose your oils that fits your intention. Release. Clarity. We'll be more clear. We'll have more clarity in a minute. The next thing is breathe in your oil, right? Apply your oil where applicable. The next thing, this right here, I can't stress enough. Pray. I don't care what you believe. I actually do care what you believe in, but I don't care at this right now. What you need to do is pray, and you need to think. You need to write down the first thing that comes up. Maybe it's a negative thought. Maybe it's a positive one. I just did, I don't know if you guys are familiar with AFT, the Aroma Freedom Technique. Whoop, whoop. I'm not going to go into that because this is not this class. But I just did that, and I was doing this memory. This is super embarrassing. I'm totally sharing this with people I don't know, but here we go. One reason why I get stuck is, listen, I didn't make the cheerleading squad with my best friend in 10th grade because I was too lazy to study for the test, the written test. And when I was doing it, I'm thinking, I thought of this memory, I'm going, what in the world? Yeah, right. I had to know about football. I hate football. I do. And I'm laughing, I'm like, oh my word, that makes so much sense. It's just those memories, they may not make any sense, and if you just sit down and think about it, maybe you were like me, I was too lazy. I didn't think my friends were actually going to do the test. I thought we were all in this together to not make it. Oh, shoot. I'm driving to the football game by myself. My friends. Anyway, so write it down. Depending on the new patterns that you're trying to create, you may have to revisit your intention. You may have to go back to number one. You may need to do this several times. Like the grooves on the table or on the floor we talked about, it's made out of wood. Some of you guys are like pine. Some of you are soft and pliable. And you're easy, it's quick. Some of us are like oak trees. We are firm in our beliefs. We are not budging. It's going to take a little bit more pushing to get through that. When you're done with that, once you go through all this, you pray again, and you have gratitude. Gratitude raises our frequency, and when our frequency is high, you guys, that's where the magic happens. When we are grateful, our frequency is up here, the magic can happen. We speak to that memory, and we can verbally release it. When you're in a spot of a negative thought or the negative memory, here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Write the good that comes out of it. My son, Cannon, he would tell you if he was here right now, you know why it was a good thing Mama lost baby Judah? Because if Mama didn't lose baby Judah, he wouldn't be here. He tells me, we talk about that. And he says, Mama, isn't that cool that baby Judah's with Jesus? Because then I'm here. Because I told him that. It was a good thing. I'm a better mom because of it. I'm a better mom to have to kiss my baby goodbye and not get to raise that baby. These are the positive things that I have pulled out of it. I have Young Living as a business because my son had cancer. I can speak to thousands of people about living a chemical-free lifestyle and eating more plants to help support their body because my son had cancer. Do you guys see what I'm going with this? If you have a negative memory, don't stay there. Look at the good that came out of that memory. It is there. I promise you. I promise you. All right. Tonight, we're going to walk through the feelings kit. Here's the thing, guys. Gary Young, he's a genius. My word. Here's my friend Trauma Life. I'm not passing this around. Because listen, I totally have scarcity mentality about Trauma Life. I'm sorry. I need an AFT with that one, but y'all can come up with me watching you, and you can smell it. And get you some if it's in stock. I don't even know. It went out 3. I didn't get the oily tools beep beep. So anyway, Gary Young's a genius. He came up with the feelings kit knowing in order to grow, if y'all are doing this as a business, you got to grow personally. You got to get rid of your junk so that you can grow in your business. I have these rollers. What we're going to do, I'm hoping this is going to be enough for you guys. We're going to pass around the rollers as I talk about them. So we got Valor and on and on. Valor 2, not Valor. In case you're going to be like this, 5-finger discount with my roller. It's Valor 2, just as good, just same frequency. We're going to pass them around. You guys go ahead and use it. Roll it on. Smell it. If you don't want to roll it on because maybe you're creeped out by 100 people rolling it on, I get that. But use it liberally. I've got more here. Valor 2. Here, I'm going to go ahead and start with Mary. Just pass it around. Share with a neighbor. Valor 2 is the first one to start with in the feelings kit. Valor and Valor 2, you guys, courage, calming. When you are about to dive into the emotional side, your limbic system, using the lifeblood of the plant, right? You're going to need some courage. Get hard. Buckle up, Buttercup. Exactly. The history of valor comes from in ancient times, in the Roman times, they would douse their shields with valor. Guys, again, there's so many stories I heard in Young Living before I really dove in. I'm like, that is so cute. I'll buy your oil, but I don't believe you. Thieves, anyone? Real quick, when I heard the story of thieves, I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. Yeah, sure. They doused themselves, robbed bodies. I homeschool my kids, and we study British literature this year. You guys, that story is in the British Royal Archives. Did you guys know that? I'm like, say, what? Okay. I believe you 7 years later. And it worked. I'm like, listen, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but we're going to do this when we get on the airplane. In Scripture, this is, and I wish I remember the address. If somebody remembers it, please shout it out. In Scripture, it talks about oiling your shields before battle. What? Oiling your shields before battle. You're about to do battle with your brain. Your brain is like, it's like a pet. Those patterns, those emotions, they don't want to be let go. So what you're going to do with this is you're going to apply it on your, when you have your valor, is you're going to take about 6 drops. You're going to breathe it in, and you're going to rub it on your shoulders. Because why? We carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. It's going to give us strength. You can put it on your feet. We do this in the raindrop technique. You put it on your feet. It's grounding. You can, if you want, take off your shoes. If you want to get real hippie about it, take off your shoes and feel the earth.
Isaiah 21:5.
Thank you, Isaiah 21:5. Nice. I love Texas. All the Bible. Yeah, right? She's like, wait, sword drill, Awanas. I know this one. Here's the oils that are in Valor 2. Ylang ylang, very balancing. Northern Lights black spruce. Oh, my word. If you don't have Northern Lights just in your back pocket, get you some. Wait till I order mine, then you can have it. Please. I'm like, do we have enough at home? Northern Lights, guys. Think about it. Think about where it's grown. Where the Northern Lights come, that energy from the sun is being pulled to those spruce trees, down to the earth. There is some power in them leaves. Needles. Leaves. All right. German chamomile is in Valor 2. Idaho blue spruce, another tree oil. Frankincense. Oh, mercy. Frankincense. Vetiver, cistus, bergamot, cassia, and divana oils. Valor 2 is calming. It's uplifting. It's going to give you the courage you need to deal with the junk that you have been holding hostage. The next one in the feelings kit that they recommend to go through next is harmony. When things are being thrown at you, the flow of energy can get out of whack. Our bodies are energy. Every living thing has a vibration. Actually, everything has a vibration. Even this table. Everything vibrates. Living things vibrate at a frequency. If things are being thrown at us, our frequency will get low. I can't by law now tell you what happens to our bodies when our frequency gets low, but it's not happy. It's not good. The oils that are in harmony are high in frequency in order to raise us back to the wellness line. To keep us at the wellness line. Keep us at the wellness line. Oh, mercy. Look, I told you. I put my notes down. Now I got no sense. 2 drops of harmony, either down the meridian, down the middle of your body, just like this, brushing it, or you can take it and do this on either side to keep you in balance or to keep you in balance. Okay? I keep mentioning we homeschool our family. Harmony is our friend. There are 5 children in my family, guys, from 15 down to 4. Right? It's tricky at times. Keeping the harmony is important. Harmony has 16 oils in it that promotes physical and emotional balance. If we are out of whack, if we are not balanced, releasing that, just the physical aspects of releasing, you have to be balanced. If you have done yoga and you're trying to get into some sort of pose, your mind has to be balanced before your body is. Does that make sense? Your mind has to be ready to get into that pose so you can do your tree. Your body will follow suit, but your brain has to be there first. There's hyssop in here, very balancing for emotions. Spruce, lavender. Oh, lavender, come on, it's a gateway oil, right? Geranium. Geranium is also very soothing to our nerves, and this will help support our emotions be balanced. Men and women. Frankincense, ylang ylang. Here's the thing with ylang ylang, guys. Guys, I'm talking to guys, because a lot of times men shy away from ylang ylang because it smells like a flower, but here's the thing. It helps to balance those male-female hormones and those emotions. Guys, you need it just as much. Our equilibrium can stay in a balanced state. Sandalwood, very high in sesquiterpenes. You guys remember sesquiterpenes? Our new best friend. Sandalwood is very high in sesquiterpenes. It helps the pineal gland do what it's designed to do. It helps the limbic region send those messages that it needs to send. There's coriander. There's rose in harmony. Rose, friends. You don't have rose? Get you some. Right, Maribel? Get you some rose. Keep it in your pocket because it's good. Orange, bergamot, again, jasmine, lemon. Lemon is one of those things when I Googled the peel of the lemon, you remember, to help my son? Lemon. Just going to say lemon. But here's the thing. Lemon is stimulating. Here's the thing. If you want your brain to listen to you, smell some lemon. It sharpens you. It's like, oh, okay, I'm awake now. Lemon is great. Palmarosa, very helpful for the nervous system. And then Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile, anger doesn't like Roman chamomile. I'll just say that. Anger also does not like German chamomile very much. So if you don't have harmony, here's why I'm going through all these oils. Real quick, I'll tell you guys this. If you don't have harmony and you're needing some balance and you're needing some anger, emotional release, grab you some German chamomile and just right here. Here's the thing. Anger doesn't like it. They can't coexist. Coriander is also in harmony. Remember we talked about our organs, our bodies having a physical response to emotions? Sometimes our bellies get a little uneasy when we're dealing with emotions. Coriander can help that. All right, and we have forgiveness. Anybody in here never need to forgive somebody? Jesus said to forgive 490 times. Believe me, I've counted 488, 489, 490, and we're done. I don't quite think that's what he means. I don't think he ever thought, I think Jen Weir might count, I better just say all the time. It's biblical, guys, and there's a reason. I tell my kids all the time, the things in the Bible are not meant to make our lives miserable. They're meant to bring freedom. They're meant for our health and our safety. Why do you think those poor Jews wash their hands all the time? Because you should wash your hands all the time. It's gross. 15-year-old, wash your hands. Forgiveness, after you have gotten the courage, after you are balanced, you're ready to need to forgive. So what you're going to do with forgiveness is apply one drop under your nose and then one around your belly button in a clockwise thing. There are more nerve endings in your belly button. This is where life began. Our emotions can be stored in us at conception. Can you guys imagine what my Selah Jane, oh, I just realized I didn't do this. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, whatever. What my Selah Jane, being inside a mom who was stressed to the max with fear, what she was born with, guys, my baby didn't sleep through the night till about a week ago. Maybe not. And maybe it's been no lie. Like this year, 2017, she's 4.5. 4.5, people. Thank you. Yes. Powergize has been my best friend. And Endoflex. No wonder my adrenals needed some support. I use every sleep support oil, all the ImmuPro. When it went out of stock, I'm like, Gary, patch me through. Somebody. She needed emotional release. She needed to feel safe. So here's what we did. True story. And again, if this is non-compliant, just cut the tape. Cedarwood, guys. We would do with Selah. Breathe it in, breathe it in. We would do this back and forth. And I would say, honey, say this after me. Okay, mama. I'm safe in my bed. I'm safe in my bed. God is here with me. God is here with me. I don't need to be with mama at night. I don't need to be with mama. Just super simple, back and forth. Within 2 nights, she's like, Mom, I slept in my bed because I'm totally safe. But you guys, here's what would happen. When I would leave the NICU, tears every single time. Tears. And I kiss you. I love you. I'll be back in 8 hours. I love, okay. And she would probably feel that. She felt that in me. Right? So in her navel, which is weird because she doesn't have a belly button. Anyway, just thought of that. That's funny. This is why, like, speaking is kind of funny for me because I like have my own stuff going on. I have no inner monologue, if you haven't noticed. Just kind of say what comes out. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's what I get for messing with it. Our nerve endings are so many right here, right? So you put forgiveness on. We can start to release those emotions that maybe were trapped in utero. You can do this with your kids. They might go, okay, here she comes with the oils again. Oh dear. And just explain to them, guys, I'm just trying to help you forgive me for things that I put on you. If any of you guys have ever adopted a little person, you're going to want to hear me, and you're going to want to take notice of this. So forgiveness contains a frequency of oils that may help to release those negative memories, not emotions, but memories. Now we're talking about memories. The oils that are in here are rose, we talked about with Harmony, but then Melissa. Melissa is very delicate. It's a very light plant. It's calming. It's balancing to the emotions. It's high in sesquiterpenes, very much like cedarwood. It has helichrysum. Also, P.S., helichrysum, not a friend with anger. When I teach my 101 classes, just the basic starter kit, guys, Panaway. Total emotional release with Panaway. Why? Because it's got helichrysum. You don't have forgiveness? Get you some Panaway. It's going to feel nice and hot. It's going to feel good. Frankincense is in here. I don't know what emotional oil frankincense is not in. That'll be a pop quiz later. Angelica, guys, here's the thing with Angelica. When you smell it on its own, it can help bring your brain back to that place just before any trauma or abuse occurred. That is so powerful with forgiveness. Sometimes we need to go right here, right before the phone call, when you were just playing with your kids at the table, right? Right before when the doctor's like, uh-oh, don't say that, doctor, that's dumb. Sandalwood, lavender, bergamot, geranium, jasmine, lemon, palmarosa, Roman chamomile, coriander. Are you guys seeing a theme with these oils? Okay, release. A tip on release, do not use it before a convention. Because you might be releasing stuff that you're like, why am I crying all this stinking time? Because you were silly and put release on for 2 weeks before convention. That may or may not have happened. When you get your release, you want to put 12 drops over your liver in a circular motion. Why? Because remember we talked about anger. This is the emotion that a lot of people have. Fear can turn to anger. That's one of the stages of grief, right? And it stays here. Use a journal with release. If you are not a journaler, before you go home, go to the CVS and get you a 99-cent spiral bound. Right? You have to journal and pray, and then journal some more. My family laughs at me in every cabinet in our house, and there's like 5 of Mom's journals. I'm like, if you ever want to know what I'm thinking, just open them up, guys. They're like, oh no. Remember, no inner monologue. Probably everything I've said, I've written down. Release is great to help support the release of traumatic memories from abuse, from events, and it will help to release those from the cells of the liver. Stimulate a sense of harmony, and it can help to balance the mind. Guys, as you're using the release, as you put it on your liver, just sit there and think. Every single thing that comes up, write it down. If you guys have never written a letter, do it. It may sound silly. Do it. I have written letters to thousands of people. My trainer for being super mean to me at the gym. I should mail that to him, actually. So in release, you've got ylang ylang, lavender, geranium, sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine. I was just going to say something about tangerine. I'm going to strike that from the record. Spearmint, lemon, blue cypress, divana, kefir lime, acacia, jasmine, blue tansy, and rose. All right, present time. I am a self-proclaimed workaholic because I like being busy. Present time is my very best friend for all my workaholic friends. And I don't mean that in an ugly way because, come on, God gave us that ability to work. It's a gift. I don't look at it as a bad thing. But what's hard is when I'm telling my kids, okay, I promise I'm just going to send this one last email. It's 6 o'clock and they're like, we are starving. You just had a snack at 3 o'clock. You're fine. But I throw in some present time so that I can be present with my people. After you have done valor, after you have done harmony and release and forgiveness, you need to be now in the present. I heard somebody say, maybe it was the Ula guys, maybe it was Jim Bob, I don't know. I'm trying to give credit to him, credit to, but here's the thing. We need to look at our life like looking through a rearview mirror. I think it was the Ula guys. Just a little bit in the past, just a little. This is a guide to see where you've been, but you've got this big windshield. Present time helps you stay in that moment. Present time contains neroli, so that can help your mind, body, and your spirit. We are 3, guys. We are mind, we are body, we are spirit. It stabilizes and it strengthens our emotions. It brings that sense of peace, a confidence, and an awareness. It brings everything into focus in the moment. I was using present time like it was my job today, not because I was nervous to come talk to you guys, but I was so excited. I love talking about emotions, and I love talking, so hooray! But I was like, oh, I got to school my kids. I had a meeting. Like, just, okay, present time. Be here. Stop thinking about I'm going to see all these people. And yeah, we can talk about feelings. Present time. Neroli, ylang ylang, and spruce are in present time. Powerful. Oh, how do you apply it? So glad you asked. Present time is great to do on your brainstem. Right? Smell it. Brainstem. And then also right on your forehead. So that those two, como se dice, right? It goes like this. It do like this. I'm losing my train of thought. So sorry. Losing my, somebody understood me, right? You guys got me. Listen, I grew up in California. What do you want from me? Sometimes it comes out. Inner child is the last one. Inner child, this is super fun. 1 drop under your nose. 1 drop around your belly button. If you are brave and you like to do fun things with oils, put a drop on your thumb, stick it to the roof of your mouth, and just sit there. Kind of like you're sucking your thumb. See what comes up. Here's why. Inner child can help bring you back to that place of childhood. I feel like your inner child, that word has a bad connotation from the 70s. Like all these people like, just find your inner child, and it's super weird. And guys, it's not. That God says, Jesus says, have faith like a child. You need to get back to that childhood place. I did this one time, like, I'm going to try that before I was teaching a feelings class, and I'm like, Disneyland. That makes so much sense. We spend a lot of our time at Disneyland. It's the happiest stinking place on earth. Not Disney World, friends, Disneyland, just so we're clear. That's right. There's a difference. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about Disney. I'm talking about inner child. Whew. See, I put them down. What happened? This is great for older children or an only child like myself. Your oldest child, only children, we tend to heap a ton of responsibility on them, not meaning to. That is just their place in the family. My oldest, we call him Sheldon. Any Big Bang Theory watchers, you guys understand. He is just very like linear. This is how things are. This is the right way. This is the justice way. This is the order way. He takes on that role. Like, I don't even know why I'm around. He's such a, in his mind, a great parent. But they take that responsibility on. I've never said, hey, I want you to parent my other kids. But he does that. Inner child is great for kids like that. My Zion, we learned last summer that he had completely blocked the cancer years out. He was starting to be like disconnected from us. He wouldn't hug my husband and I. He wouldn't say I love you anymore. He's like, I don't even understand what that means. We use a lot of inner child to help him. Now my 15-year-old who's taller than me is like, Mama, are you going to be home tonight before I go to bed? Like, Mom, calls me Mama, like hanging on me. And it helps. He was able to release that trauma and that anger that he had at his dad and I from making him go through all the things he had to go through 6 years ago. You can imagine. When children experience abuse or trauma, they can become disconnected from their inner child. If you've ever seen someone have a midlife crisis, a lot of times it's just that disconnection manifesting itself later in life. That person going through the midlife crisis just needs to do some emotional release. Give them some oils, guys. This is your job. Help a brother or sister out. Inner child fragrance may stimulate memory response. I'm helping you connect to that, your fundamental identity. There's orange, tangerine, neroli, lemongrass, spruce, sandalwood, jasmine, and ylang ylang. Here's the thing with orange, guys. We didn't talk about this much in Harmony. Orange is a very happy oil. Orange is a kid oil. If you guys have kids, buy orange by the truckload. This is such a great oil for their brains, for their emotions. Diffusing it when we school, so helpful. Here's what I'm going to finish off with. Because essential oils affect the amygdala in the brain, they can help the mind and the body release emotional stress and sharpen your focus. We have a lot of distractions. When you guys leave here tonight, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. You're going to get home. Maybe there's a text. Maybe there's a something. Make sure that you grab your oil. Stay centered and find freedom. Young Living has a ton more oils. We could be here all night and talk about them. Sarah, Trauma Life, Wiseman. I'm telling you guys this so you're like, okay, and you're writing it down. I'll say it again. Sarah, Trauma Life, and Wiseman. I'll say it again. Sarah. 3 Wiseman. Did I say the Wiseman? Whatever. The 3 Wiseman. It's not even in the Bible. I know, which is weird because I'm like, it doesn't really say 3 Wiseman. Anyway, I digress. All right, so we got some giveaways for you guys tonight. I'm going to do a little pop quiz. It stresses me out when people raise their hand because I'm not good at that, so I'm going to ask you all to stand up. Sorry, Jim Bob, you don't win. That's right. I mean, you could go like this, and then I'll pick you. Okay, our limbic system is what? Emotional brain. You get some abundance. Put it on your feet and walk in abundance, sister. All right, our amygdala is the what? Please stand up and tell me. Our amygdala is the what? Yes, in the back. It's the emotion, but the emotional part. Yeah, yes. Because here's me, I'm like, did I even say this? Can you guys pass this back? Oh, in black and white. It is the watchdog of the brain. It's the brain that helps you with the fight or flight. Oh, gratitude. Yes. Rub that on your heart and on your feet. Walk in gratitude. It's Jim Bob's oil, right? That's right. Yeah, see, you don't need to win. You got it. All right, who can tell me what sesquiterpenes are or do? Yes.
They carry oxygen to the brain.
Yes, they support healthy oxygen levels in the brain. Thank you. Joy. Oh my God. I'm so busy giving them out, I forget to tell you. Yes, joy. Ooh, you got the joy, joy, joy down in your heart. Rub that on your heart. Oh, such a good day. Okay, now peace and calming.
Oh, original.
Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah, it is. Just want to make sure. This is perfect for peace and calming. What is the first step for emotional releasing? Yes.
Pray.
Not pray. The guy next to you? Say your intention. Yes, so important. So important. Before you talk to the Father, you have to know what you're talking to him about. Prayer is super important. These things, yes, okay. Emotions are based in what two? Yes. Yes, ma'am. I think I can throw this. Duck, everybody. Ooh, nice catch. Oil bag, there we go. And then we have a diffuser necklace. Named Jimba. It's silver. Looks like a diamond color, Jimba. There you go. Cindy for helping you, all her. Okay, name the oil in the kit that releases. Well, since the girl in the blue shirt did what I asked her and stood up. There you go. All right, guys, my last one, we're going to give away a CD, Family First. Can I say that?
It's a Dr. Minky CD.
Family First Aid. Okay, I'm going to give you the oil that brings courage. I think it was her, yes. There you go. All right, guys, I hope I didn't squirrel too much for you guys. Thank you so much for listening to my chitter chatter. Appreciate you guys.
It's on, yes. So this is the feelings kit that we just went through. So do you know that you can get it all in a kit, or you can buy them individually as well? But it's so nice, like the raindrop kit, that you can start with all of them right there and go through what you just learned to do. With, I think it was 12 drops of release or something like that, you're going to need to buy extra release, but okay. We all need extra release. So yes.
When you buy it in the kit, it's about $125 savings versus buying individually.
Wow. That's Jessica Jacobs, the former math teacher. Thank you. So it's you save $125 than buying them separately if you buy them in the kit. 125, right? Save $125.
Whoa.
Yeah, this will be out of out of stock tonight, right? Yes.
When you go through this, is this like a one-day thing or several days, or is it?
I knew I was going to get that. So she asked, when you go through this, is it a one-day thing? Is it several days? Here's why I didn't give you guys a protocol. Because who is a green personality in this room? If you don't know what your personality color is, I challenge you to get on there. My greens will be like, okay, because I have these people on my team, guys. They buy the kit and they're like, I don't have a whole day to deal with my emotions. So then the kit has literally sat on their shelf until they are ready to do it. That's not okay, because it's not going to do you any good. So what I say is, just start. Just do Valor one night before bed and journal. Say your intention, do your Valor, and now you probably have some dream that you want to write down when you wake up in the morning. And then on every day. When you get to release, just know you're probably going to be weepy. And that's okay. It's just God washing your body. Tears are soap for the soul. So move along. I totally cried through one day of convention. My team was like, hey, weirdo, whatever. So just every day. Don't wait until you have a full time to do it, because you'll never do it.
Great advice. Just start now.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yes.
For the rest of you in the room. So if anybody, I wanted to mention, he was wheeling himself in. The party in the back would be Mr. Jim Bob Goodyear. I'm so used to Jim. Oh, it's good to be a Jim. So, Jim Bob Haggerty, Dr. Jim Bob, we're all so happy. We've been praying for you for a month and a half. So when it was sold out today, he says to me, hey, do you think I can come? I'm like, well, apparently you bring your own chair, so whatever. So have a chair, we'll travel. His wife dropped him off, so I said this was a lock-in so she could pick him up in the morning, but I think he'd be alone. So I don't want to do that. So we're going to... How many of you are excited about the promo this month? It is so good. So every month, if you don't know, that Young Living has a promotion that at 4 different tiers now, that we get free products that they just throw into your order. So when you are on Essential Rewards, and you'll want to be on Essential Rewards, that's how to get the most bang out of your wholesale membership. That is at 100 PV, you get a 5 ml bottle of tangerine. A lot of those oils that Jen passed around tonight had tangerine oil in them. So it's a lovely one. But this is the Vitality one, so you drink it. Yep. And then at 190, you get not only the tangerine, but you also get, when you're on Essential Rewards, the Ula Grow oil. And then you get the Melaleuca, yes, the tea tree, 15 ml tea tree oil, right? So if you're on Essential Rewards, just at the 190 level, you get 3 free oils. How great is that? Then at 250, you get a whole bottle of Thieves Household Cleaner, as well as a cool, exclusively branded Young Living glass spray bottle. How fun is that? And then at 300, you get a 15 ml bottle of Dragon Time. And if you don't know what Dragon Time is, that should also be in the Feelings Kit. For women, yes. Or for the men that live with them, something like that. Yeah. So, yes. So don't miss those. So these are the upcoming classes we have going on. So this Thursday is going to be Crown Diamond Christy Dempsey has a class every month as well in the Hearst area, or in Hearst. And she's going to say, it's a 102 class, got my oils, now what? Right? What do you do after you get your premium starter kit? So it's a great one to bring your new members to. It's a great one to go to, take notes, and teach your own class. Right? That's what all these classes are about. You sit here and hear Jen say that and say, now I'm going to talk about the limbic system. Yep, and know what I'm talking about. So that's what we want you to do. The next monthly class here is going to be on the 16th of May. And Diamond Shell Carter and her 3 kids are going to talk about growing up oily. Her 3 youngest, which are, I'm going to get in trouble with ages, but they're not like little people. I mean, but they're like, here. I don't have kids, I'm not good with ages, but like here. Now, if you had a dog in the room, I could tell you how old he was, but so they are going to do a great job. So you will want to be here. If you have kids, if you know of people that have kids, that should be everybody, then you will want to be here to hear how they use them throughout their whole families, or throughout their family. Yeah, because she has her kids do her own things. I don't know, did you get to get to see her Saturday? When did she teach? Friday. In the EOC. How many are in the Facebook group EOC? And if you're not, you should be. It's Dr. Jim Bob's group. It's called the Essential Oil Club, and it is awesome. And so she taught how to do the raindrop on your kids. Like her kids do their own raindrop on their feet. So it's fantastic. So you will totally want to be here. It's fantastic. And then look what we're going to do on June 6th. We're going to be in this room, and we are going to have a Soul Hope, which is one of the Young Living Foundation's great organizations that we work with. And we are going to be cutting out jeans to make shoes for the Soul Hope organization. So all of those that we send, or that we cut out, will be sent to Africa and be made by locals into shoes. So we got to see some of those shoes when we were on the cruise. They had some of the shoes there, and they are so neat. So we are going to have a great time doing that. So you'll definitely want to come for that. And do I have others? I think, did you know Carrie Underwood's going to be singing at convention? She's just our wrap-up. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you definitely want to do that. if you did not get a ticket for the Spring Symposium that's coming up on Saturday, or another Live Your Passion rally, then you can also go online. I know Leah is having one on Sunday. She's doing a Facebook event, right, or class? Recap, yes. And so why don't you post that in the Goodyear for Health on our group there, and that way you guys can join in and see all there's I'm sure going to be specials, because there's always specials, discounts on different things and different promotions, and some always exciting things to talk about. I can't say any more than that. Okay. So you will want to be at convention. So you have until April 28th to get a ticket for convention. All right? Okay, so we are going to take like a 10-minute break, and then Shelly is going to be teaching us. So thank you, Jen. Appreciate you guys so much.